Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So today is the second day that we are working on DJ CRX here. So today we're going to be doing some S2000 seats into the CRX. I know it's been done before, so that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is, just going about and doing it, having some fun with it, and hopefully it turns out pretty well. So this morning I just got back from the gym. It is a late start to the day. It's already 11. Normally I'm here by like 9:30, but I went to the gym for extra long this morning, and then had to go box up and ship out a rear bumper bar. I believe a guy named John out in Washington bought it. He has a wide body DA, so if you want to go check that out, I think his name on Instagram is John Meredith. Yeah, it looks really awesome. He's a supporter, so appreciate that part of him. But yeah, so let's try and get some seats stuffed into this little nugget DJ has here. So not trying to shame DJ here, but let me just show you the main reason he's switching to an S2000 seat. So yeah, this is the same seat that's been in this car since he bought it, and his old CRX had a very similar condition seat. So I really don't know how this boy has been driving as good as he has, like as fast as he has, doing the track and the canyon stuff, when this thing doesn't have the slightest bit of bolstering, let alone padding to hold him in. But if for some reason you've been sleeping under a rock for the last 23 years and never seen S2000 seats before, these are what they look like. So they are pretty well bolstered here in the sides. Now mind you, these ones are a little worse for wear per se. They could just use a little bit more so some conditioning. But anyway, they have good bolstering here. They have good supports here. And they just look stylish overall. They're basically a direct drop-in Dell soles. I think 3 of the 4 holes line up. So let's test fit one of these really quick, and we'll see how this goes. And I freaking forgot my stupid tripod clip again. So my tripod's there, but I don't have the thing for you guys to sit on. So yeah, I'm going to just throw you guys up on something, probably in the car. And let's see how close we are to getting some of these holes lined up. Oh, and also the CRX, I was thinking it was like a DA, so I was like concerned what he's going to do for seatbelt. But yeah, his are pillar-mounted seatbelts, and his buckle is there. So I don't know that we need that one, or if we can just use this one. I think he just wanted to use the one that are in the car because they're already in there. So I'm just going to unbolt these buckles really fast as well. I do apologize for the poor lighting, but let's try this out. Alright, so you can see right here where the light is like you can see the bolt hole right there, kind of on the outside or the inside part there, and the inside part of that one. And then you can see that these ones are supposed to be on this front side of this hump here. So obviously this thing is quite a bit wider than factory. I'd say a good 2 inches wider than the CRX one, and then it's quite a few inches longer. So, but also mind you, part of the trick with doing this is you can't just line one bolt up and then go off the rest. You have to make sure the seat's pretty much center, so that's where the issue comes, is because the seat is so much wider, the rails and such, I can't just put one side in because then it's hitting the center console, or vice versa, it is then hitting the door card. So bear that in mind if you decide to ever do this to your own vehicle. Otherwise you're going to be griping after you go to sit down and bolt it all up. It'll be really awkward. Start this one off, we got to take the seatbelt off. So it was a 15 mil bolt over there, but then on the driver's side here you do have the seatbelt harness here. So just a couple connectors, and then you can squeeze it out through there. It's a tight fit, but I've done it on my own car. Next up, you're going to take a Dremel or a cutoff wheel. I don't have a Dremel, I just have a cutoff wheel. So you're going to grind these ones down. So on the fronts, you're going to have the rivet thing that's right inside of there. You can see that. And then you also have a 1-inch weld there and there. Same on this one, but the rear ones, you just have the rivet. So just knock those things off. They're very simple. And then you can just pry them off by hand or give them a tap with a hammer and they'll come right out. Just do that for all 4, and then take yourself a flap disc if you have one, just to make sure you got a good cleanup area. You can use sandpaper, whatever, but I use the flap disc because I prefer to have all these welds ground down. You know, if you're really DIYing this and you don't have these fancier tools, I'm sure you'll find a way. You can use the grinder, grind that down more, or the Dremel, whatever, but get all of it cleaned up. And for me, I cleaned up about, I don't know, I'd say 6 inches up, and just get it to fresh, clean metal. Once you got all of your parts, you're going to want to clean them up top and bottom. And I did all the way around the edges and stuff too for, you know, the partial weld area, since, you know, it's not going to be perfectly, you know, welded to your rail like that. You're going to be kind of offset all weird like that, but that's okay because it's still going to be plenty strong. And yeah, again, flap disc, Scotch-Brite, whatever you want. So now that you got everything cleaned up, looking like that, looking all nice and clean and shiny, all the weld areas. So for this to make my job easier this time around than it was the last side, because it was a tight fit now, because I forgot to add the reinforcement first. So basically all I did before was I just, you know, bent these right off the bat. Now I am going to add material because I know that the new seat is going to be wider. So you can see that. We'll set it right there. So I know that the seat's going to be coming out probably a good 2 inches over. So all we're going to do is cut out square stock that's, you know, that dimension, just 2 inches longer that way. And we're just going to weld it over, and then from there we can bend this. I use my metal brake over there, but you can just use a big hammer after you bolt it in, and it'll work just the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. See, now we just assemble it. You can do top or bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and do the top. Because my MIG welder's over there and I got the TIG welder right here behind me, I'm just going to go ahead and TIG these up really quick. Well, now that those things are all welded up, we got a few minutes to let them cool off, so get yourself something to drink, hang out for a minute, and then we'll put them in the car, we'll bolt them in nice and snug, and then we'll bend the hammer, or bend them with the hammer. You can still do it while it's warm, it'll make it easier, but just don't do it while it's freshly welded like that, because you don't want to burn your carpet up. So this side is more towards the tunnel. And you can see I cut it a little long, which is fine, but the issue is that it bends up. So this one you can still do with a hammer, but I would just bend it before you do it. So I'm gonna just go in my metal brake really quick and just bend it up just a little bit. All right, so now you can see bent, fits a little bit better. And before I make any final welds, I'm gonna round these edges out just to make them look nicer. Just like that. Now these are all bent. Perfect. Now that those are bent, we can put in all 4 pieces and set the seat on top of it and try and find our seating position, in terms of center at least. I just went to go bolt this one in though, and I don't know how, yeah, you can see that the nut is like about to fall through because it's cracked around it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and repair that really quick before it gets worse. Like, yeah, you can see that wiggling in there. So I'm gonna keep it pulled up like it is now, and I'm going to take a wire wheel and try and clean this up really fast, and then try and get a couple strong tack welds all the way around. Hopefully there's enough strength in that metal to where it doesn't blow through. Okay, got both holes repaired, and they're nice and strong now. So I don't know what that was all about, but now we can put the seat in and try and get that tack together. Pretty happy with where I've got the seat positioned, so I'm going to go ahead, lay some tack welds, and we'll pull it out and lay some final welds. Well, same process applies. Lay some final fat beads and make them look good, and should be done. Well, this thing's all welded up. I'm gonna let it cool off for a minute since I just finished, and we can bolt this in the car. And we're gonna be all set, and it's gonna look really cool. I'm excited. I know he's excited. All right. So, all right, feeling pretty good. So, yeah, they look pretty sick in here, not gonna lie. What do you guys think? So, make sure the seatbelt, I mean, I didn't touch the seatbelt, so it should work, but you know what I mean. Get it inside the little loop thingy. Heck yeah, dude. S2000 seats in a CRX, there you have it. His retractors are a little sticky though. Seats are in, they feel pretty stout, and you know, they look a heck of a lot better than that raggedy old stock CRX we had in there before. So the only thing I noticed is maybe I could have scooted the driver's seat back a little bit more on the mounting plate, but I'm like this far, probably about a 3/4 inch from hitting the seatbelt, so I really couldn't bring it back that much further. So it looks like the tunnel isn't symmetrical on each side. So it feels like, maybe it's because also you don't have the steering wheel and stuff, but it feels like the passenger seat can scoot back just a little bit more than the driver's seat. And that's like, it's pretty darn far back. Like, that's pretty far back there. But I know DJ has like super long legs, so hopefully that works for him. Worst case, I got to cut the legs off and clean it all up and do it again, but that shouldn't be too bad, worst case scenario. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. They are in the car. The only thing left for me to do to this thing, if you didn't watch the last video, I built the exhaust, but he needed one more thing, which is, obviously he's got the K-swap in here, and apparently EFs are prone with a K-swap to cracking the subframe. His is already cracked once. It's cracked right now. I'm going to go ahead and patch it again. And when it cracks again, we're going to have to pull the rear mount out and the bracket, and we're going to have to weld in new metal to reinforce it instead of just, bandaging it. But I'm going to go ahead and do that, but we don't need to show that. We don't, the point of this video was just getting those seats in, and that's exactly what we did. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you've done any cool seat swaps like this before. I know S2000 seats are a very popular choice by the community standards, and for good reason. They're awesome seats, they're comfortable, they're stylish. But yeah, let me know if you've ever slapped anything cool that doesn't belong in your car seat-wise into your car. And if you know the channel, hopefully by now you have considered subscribing, and if you ever feel so inclined to support the channel further, you can always hit up the Big Cartel where I have my merch and such, or if you also feel like buying something, I have Vivid Racing and Amazon affiliate links, and it'll kick me a couple bucks if you buy anything using those links, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyways, thanks for spending some time here with me today, and do what you love, forget about the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.